Hello guys, welcome back here to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how you would how we're going to create those virtual port channels. Okay. So before getting into the configuration, I just want to give you a little bit of the principle. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to combine. This diagram is equivalent to switch 3 is the same switch you see here, and then we have a switch 4 here, a switch 4. Let's call this one switch 4. Okay, switch 4 is a combination of these two. Okay, these two switches is going to combine to give switch 4, and now between switch 4 and switch 3, we're going to create a regular port channel like we've seen before. Okay, and on that port channel, you can now apply all your configurations like duplex, speed, bandwidth, or whatever configuration you want to do on this port. Then you're going to apply that configuration on the port. Okay, so this port I'm talking about is this one here. So this is going to be like the main port that we're going to configure later on. But then to get here, to configure these two ports, okay, before even getting here, first you have to make sure that this port channel, these two switches are connected through a virtual port channel, and that port channel had to be kept alive with this management link here. Okay, management link with an IP subnet of 10.0.0.0/24. Okay, so that's the process. And now let's get into the configuration itself. So I have my two switches here. I have switch 1, switch 2, and then switch 3, which is iOS. Okay, so these two switches are Nexus. This one's an iOS. Okay, so let's get into it. For switch 1, for Nexus switches, since the different iOS system, it has different different commands and different ways of setting it up. So first we have to enable the features. Okay, so we have to say feature VPC. We have to enable feature VPC. We also have to enable feature link aggregation protocol. Okay, do the same thing right here. And right here, you're going to see if I type the right command, this color is going to change to different. It's going to change to blue, to green. If I say feature VPC, okay, now I change to green because I typed the right command. Now I have to add feature LSCP. So what you're going to see is these two switches, they're going to have very, very similar configuration. Okay, almost the same. That's why I put them side by side. It's going to be much easier. Actually, I could maybe lower this one because right now we're not concerned with switch number 3. So everything that's here is going to be here. Okay, so that's why I put them side by side. All right, so we put the feature VPC. Now we're going to create a VPC domain. VPC domain, let's call it VPC 15. Okay, now the VPC domain is created, but we're not going to use it now, so we can exit here. Also create a VPC 15, VPC domain 15. I'm going to tell you why we need a VPC domain. All right, so VPC domain is created. Now we have to create the management, okay, the management interface. Okay, the management interface is the one that we're going to make sure these two switches are in keep alive. Okay, they are always active, they're always up. So this is going to be permitted through this management interface here. So now let's create a management interface. It's going to say interface management 0. Okay, and we call it it's a VRF interface, VRF member. VRF member is management. Okay, and then we're going to give it an IP address of 10.0.0.1, okay, /24. Okay, and we say no short. Okay, and we could also exit out of there. Do this exact same thing here, except that the IP is going to be different. So interface management 0 is going to be part of VRF management. VRF member management. I'll give an IP address 10.0.0.2/24. Okay, we don't have to, but at this point we could actually give a static route. Static route, which means if you want to go, if anything wants to go anywhere, okay, from the switch number 2, we're going to point it to switch number 1. If anything wants to go anywhere from switch number 1, we're going to point to switch number 2. But we don't have to for the basic, for the for this particular video, we don't have to give a static route like that. Okay. So, anyways, so we're done with the management IP interface configuration. So we'll just do no short and exit out of there. All right. So next thing, we have to get back to VPC domain. Okay. So the VPC domain we created before, we didn't use it. So VPC domain 15. Okay. So the VPC domain is actually what's going to permit that management interface to be up. Okay. So VPC domain 15, I'll give it a role. Want to make this one primary, so role priority 10, give it 10. On the other side, we're going to give 20, so that this one stays as primary. So, and then we say pair keep alive destination 10.1.2 on VRF management, and we provide a source IP address of 10.0.0.1. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So on the other side, it's going to be VPC domain 15. Give it a priority of 20. 20, that way it's going to be secondary. And then we'll create a pair keep alive. Pair keep alive destination. So destination is going to be the other router, which is 10.0.0.1. Okay. Just a reverse. And this is part of VRF management. And the source IP from source IP is the IP address of switch 2, which is 10.0.0.2. Okay. Enter. Now let's exit from there. Exit from here. Okay. Now what we can do is just see if the keep alive is working. We can just do show VPC keep alive. So we can see the keep alive status is alive. Okay. So it seems to be working. Everything is good. So we can do the same command here. Show VPC keep alive. Okay, same thing. Okay. Now that the keep alive is good, what that means is, okay, our management keep alive is alive. It's good. So now all we need to is just to bundle these two ports. Okay, in the regular port channel. So now we're going to bundle those two links, and then the links we're going to bundle. For that, of course, we already enabled feature LACP, but we could still do that again. Okay, because for Nexus switches, every feature you want to use, every options you want to use, if there's a feature, you have to enable it. Okay, so that's how it works for the Nexus switches. So So now we're going to bundle those switches in an LCP. So it's going to say interface Ethernet 1, 2. Okay. What that means is for Nexus switches, you don't have to say interface range. You just say interface Ethernet 1/1 to 2, which means there are actually two interfaces I'm bundling here, 1 to 2. That's why I put 1 to 2. So you don't have to say interface range. Just like this, it understands the interface range. Okay. Now let's call this one channel group 15. Channel group 15, and the number 15 is not random. Okay, this number 15 corresponds to the port to the VPC domain, and it doesn't have to match, but the reason I make them match is just so that we know that this is concerning only the linking of these two switches. When we're going to have to do link of this the port channel that links to the iOS switch, we're going to use a different port channel number. Okay, so for now, we're going to use port channel 15, which corresponds to the VPC domain name number. So VPC domain channel group 15 mode. Since it's LSCP, it's going to be mode active. Okay, enter. Always make sure we say no shot. Okay, and we could say description. Peer link. Okay, so do exactly the same thing on the other side. Interface Ethernet 1/1 to 2. Okay, it's going to be interface range. Let's call this one channel group 15 mode active. Okay, mode active. We'll make sure it's not short. Okay. Okay, and then we give a description. Peer link. Okay, we can exit there. Exit from here. Now that we've created a group, okay, we've grouped those two ports. Now we're going to configure the port channel. Okay, with the same number. Okay. So that port, the group is created. Now we have to configure the port channel. Okay, so say interface port channel 15, because it has to match that group number. Okay, we say no shot. It's always easy to forget no shot. Okay, so no shot, and then we say we could give a description. Peer link. Okay, it's a peer link, and then we configure the duplex. Okay, I didn't have to give a description here, but anyways, I'll leave it there. So it doesn't make any difference if I give a description that doesn't match it. It's just a description. It doesn't really make any difference. So I'm going to say duplex full. And so if we configure duplex full, it means that we have to configure duplex full also on the other side. Give a speed 1000. Okay. And this is going to be a switch port. And the switch port is going to be in mode trunk. Okay, and let's call this one a VPC peer link. And the VPC peer link. So let's do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, since we already bundled the channel group, now we only have to create a port channel. So say interface port channel 15. Okay, no shot. We don't have to give any description here. I think I give the description. I didn't have to give any description anyways. So I say duplex full. speed 1000. If the speed doesn't match, his channel is not going to form. And then we have to call this a switch port. Okay, and the switch port is going to be in mode trunk. Okay, also it's going to be a VPC peer link. Okay, now at this point we could double check if our if your VPC, we can actually check if the port channel is up. Okay, let's check if the VPC is up, port channel is up. If all that is correct, then we should be able to ping side to side. Okay, because at this point what we've done is we've already set up this side. Okay, we've not configured this port yet, that's coming soon, but this side is already, it should be like already one switch. Okay, not two switches, still two switches physically, but in reality they're working like one switch. So let's test it. If I come here, if I come to switch 1, I do show VPC. Okay, so what I see here is that the port channel, the peer status is okay, it's formed, peer is alive, consistency is success, you know, peer VLAN is, everything is good. Everything that you see here is disabled, is not necessary for now. Okay, it's not necessary for our port channel to be formed. Okay, so we could enable them, but we don't have to. Okay, like I was telling you about the gate, like you could actually define a static route between pointing one switch to another. This is not, we can do it, but it's not absolutely necessary for the port channel to form. That's why I leave it. And we see also that our port channel 15 is up. Port channel 15 is up. So which means we can actually ping end to end. Okay, so if I do ping to the other side, which is 10.0.0.2, say VRF management. Okay, that ping is working the same way if I ping the other from the other side. 10.0.0.1. Okay, let's say VRF management. Okay, that ping works. Okay, so now what's left right now is to configure on each of these Nexus switches. You have to configure this port and this port, so that when we configure the IIS switch, they should be able to form a port channel with this one. Okay, so let's go into each one of these Nexus switch and configure the TEP interface. Okay, we go here, go do exit, do exit. Okay, now to configure the TEP link, what I need to do is to say interface Ethernet 1/3. Okay, always start with no shop, so I shouldn't forget. So no shop, and then I create a channel group. Now I'm going to use a different number. I'm going to say channel group 31. Okay, and let's say mode active. And as you know, in LACP, that's the link aggregation protocol, if two sites are all active, they're still going to form a channel. That's why you don't have to put it active and passive. But if you actually put active and active on both sides, they're still going to form a channel. So it's more secure to put active anyways. So we've created a channel group. Yeah, we've said no shop, and then we could actually exit out of there. And now we can define the port channel. Interface port channel 31. Okay, interface port channel 31. We say no shop. Okay, then we give a duplex full. Give a speed of 1000. Okay, and we're going to call it a switch port. Okay, I'll say this switch port is in mode trunk. Okay, we'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. Interface Ethernet 1/3. Okay, so no shop, and then we say create a channel group 31. Okay, still going to be the same number because it's remember it's going to be the same number because these two ports gonna be like they're coming from the same switch. So that this number here has to match this number here. Okay, so it's gonna be channel group 31. Say mode active. Okay, and we've done no short, and we can actually exit out of there. Now we'll configure the port channel interface. Port channel 31. Okay, no short, and we'll give a duplex full, speed 1000, and it's going to be a switch port. And the switch port is going to be in mode trunk. Okay, now we could exit out of there. Hopefully I did no short. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I did no short. All right, so we could exit out of there. Okay, exit out of there. Now, technically speaking, we're done configuring the port channel on the Nexus switches. So what we're left to do is only on the iOS switch. Okay, but we still have some little thing to do, but that's going to be after the configuration on the iOS switch. So let's jump into the iOS switch right now. I'm going to lower this one down, and let's jump into the iOS switch. So this is a regular iOS switch we've seen before on Packet Tracer, on the GNX3. It's a regular iOS switch. So I go in there, enable. So I go configure terminal. So on this iOS switch, these two, I'm going to bundle these two interfaces. So it's going to be G0 from 0 to 1. Okay, G0/0 to 0/1. Okay, so it's going to be interface range G0/0 to 1. Okay, no short. And we'll give it a channel group 31. It has to be the same number like on the upstream. Channel group 31, we'll give it mode active. Okay. Okay. And I can exit out of there and then configure the port channel. So say interface port channel 31. Okay, it has to match. I mean, it's important that it matches just so that it's much easier to understand what we're doing. Okay, say no short. Okay, and then we so the configuration here is a little bit different. So it's going to be a switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1Q. That's how you convert iOS port into a trunk port. And then we say switch port mode trunk. Okay, that's how you convert iOS switch into a trunk port. Okay, and then let's see, let's read what the messages I'm seeing there. Okay, anyways, let's ignore those messages for now. Let me go out there. Let me kind of save. The only thing we have to do right now, okay, what do we have to do right now? We're going to go back to those Nexus switches. Okay, and we have to put these two interfaces in VPC 15. If we don't put it in VPC 15, then this new switch is not going to recognize it as in that you know, this new switch, because now it's like two switches that formed one switch. Okay, so we have to put these two interfaces into VPC 15. 15 is the one that's bonding switch 1 and switch 2. Okay, so that's what's left right now. I'm just going to say I don't know what is here. Let me just say interface Ethernet 1/3. Not the interface, but the port channel. Because at this moment we're dealing with port channels instead. Interface port channel 31. Okay. Now let's just say VPC 15. Okay. I'll do exactly the same thing here. Interface port channel 31. Okay. Interface port channel 31. And we'll give it VPC 15. Okay. So at this point, let's end. Let's do end. Let's do end. Any other thing is going to be more of troubleshooting. Okay. So what we're going to do right now, first we will have a check if our interfaces on the Nexus switches are okay. Okay. So say show interface status. Okay, so show interface status here is showing suspended. What that means is that the two interfaces that you see up there, they have already formed the port channel is up, which is the port channel, the peer keep alive between switch 1 and switch 2. But unlike but on the other hand, if I check here on switch 2, if I say show interface status, okay, suspended. So I need to double check exactly what's happening. Probably spanning tree has to be enabled or something, but I have to double check right now. All right, so luckily I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do any troubleshooting. It just took some time for the port to come up. Right now the port is up. If you can see on the Nexus switch on the left and on the right, you can see my concern was this third port here. Okay, the third port is the one that links the two switches uplink to the switch that is the access switch, which is the iOS switch. So that one is connected, trunked, it's full duplex, 1000 speed. Okay, exactly how we set it up manually. So everything is good, which means if I go in here and let's say show port channel summary. Okay, if I say show port channel summary, we're going to see our two port channels are up. Okay, if I do the same thing on the other switch, I'm going to see the exact same thing. Show port channel summary. See, so our two ports are up. So our configuration was correct. Everything is done. It was done right. We didn't have to do any troubleshooting. And also, if I go on the iOS switch, it just took some time. I don't know. Usually it takes some bit of time to get synchronized. So if I say show, the command here is a little bit different for iOS. I say show Ethernet channel. Okay, Ethernet channel summary. If I do Ethernet channel summary, you're going to see our port channel 31 is up. Okay, the channel group is 31, and the link aggregation protocol is has been formed between gig 0/0 and gig 0/1. Okay, so everything is good. So this is basically all for this video, and of course we would have loved to test it more, but I have something more even better for next time, which means next time we're going to like now you can consider this as a normal environment where you have distribution switches. Okay, the distribution switches are being represented here by the Nexus switches, and you have access switches represented here by the IIS switch. Okay, and now next video we're going to see how we could leverage this for a regular enterprise, regular enterprise environment where you have distribution switches, you have access switches, and then you have a core switch. Okay, and also on the access switch you're going to attach a PC or attach PCs, and then on the core switch end we're going to create we're going to create an interface with an IP address that we can ping from the access switch, just to be sure that end-to-end connectivity is working. So that one is going to be a little bit longer. That's going to be the subject of the next video, which is going to be a continuation of this one. It's not going to be very much new, or like if you understood this one, it's going to be much easier for that one to be to be understood. So if you are new to this channel and you want to follow up on these videos, make sure you watch the previous video, which was like an introduction to this by setting up the Nexus switch especially. And then also you have to watch this one to the full to be able to understand the next video. All right, so this is all for this video, and thanks very much for watching, and talk to you next time.